Used to be one of our IT engineers. He actually installed SCCM on one of the boxes and took down our Exchange server. So that's probably a bad day for those that are wanting to install your own SCCM instance. And yeah, so they kind of steer us into using their stuff, and they administer this whole box for us, and they give us just control over a specific subset of area that we can touch.
And how amenable are they right now to getting past 2007? Because I've had this discussion with Rick before too, and
good question.
I haven't gotten very
Stay
far
tuned.
I haven't gotten very far with that.
That's right. Yes. So it is what it is right now.
What's that question?
Yes.
Getting them to 2012
Upgrade.
from 2007.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they're not even 2010.
Yeah, they're not. It's on the horizon, just like SharePoint was on the horizon. So yes.
Now you do have to have an Active Directory domain.
You do need an AD. You're right. The first line on this says for domain keeps. So if you're not on a domain, this may not work for you too well. Not going to work for you at all.
So I mean, if you were going to install it from scratch, you'd have to install an Active Domain.
You're going to need a PVC, yes.
Yeah.
Whole 9 yards.
Does the MDT server have to be?
No, we're in e-services.
Oh yeah.
So we have an OU.
Because I remember reading through it. How did it play with your domain?
MDT does not need to be in a domain at all.
It does not.
Well, actually, my MDT server is in a standalone environment. It's not in party service.
But SCCM does.
Yes, SCCM needs to be tied into your AD. Yep.
There's your file. On your other machine.
Oh, I think exactly what happened. So this is my mail storage line. It finally came up.
Is it a virus? Should I call my LSP?
Exactly, right? they do that. They call me. It's like, what is this? So, yeah. And so we
So
say,
hit cancel.
yeah.
No, hit cancel. That's what
It
my
was
user
ready,
will do.
so.
How does this come up every day? A week later?
So again, this is already deployed to
Is
field.
this what you
and
tell
now
your
the user's
customers to
staring
do?
at
If something
this.
pops up, click
Okay.
Usually they call me and say, I need XYZ software. So I don't need to go be CD monkey. Ooh, install CD, right? No, you just deploy it now.
See, now you're deploying the changes, but you still initially put the software on with MDT?
I have a thick image. This whole image that you
That
see
was
here,
MDT, right,
yes,
okay.
this was pushed. But say I wanted to deploy Office 2026, I could actually install the ISO on MDT, push the whole ISO across the wire. It would take a while, but it would work. So it's just a matter of what you think will be more efficient. You want to install as much stuff in your thick image as is common, and then maintenance with SCCM. That's my strategy. Go ahead.
Jer, are you all using advertising so that people can do self-installs of free and through software?
We can, but we don't. We're just more, it's like they call us and they need help, they need XYZ software, and we put an MDT and push it. So they don't actually, it's not a pull. So there's no directory of all the stuff that comes up. No, it didn't come up. So yeah, I have one Acrobat install, that's Acrobat 8, one of the old ones, right? And it doesn't silently install very efficiently, and it does advertise. The little icon pops down there and you get to your clock and says, click me to install. So yeah, the newer versions of Acrobat are more inclined to install quiet. So yes.
But part of the SCCM client allows you to advertise programs that a user can then go and say, oh, I need LabVIEW. There it is, click, and installs.
Yes. And it doesn't require administrative rights because you've actually scripted that password already into the installer. So this machine is running as dual user, so it's kind of nice. All right.
One comment, if you're going to distribute things like LabVIEW or whatever else it might be, you may need to have redistribution rights from whoever the publisher is.
We're not doing anything, Joe, that we would need to worry about that.
But yes, if you are, yes,
Yeah.
licensing, is definitely critical. Yeah. Make sure you're not using those licenses.
Yeah, Adobe would be one that you may be wanting to distribute that is covered under, that needs redistribution license.
Yes, but again, we're not just throwing it out there on my whole domain. So, as needed. So anyways, let's take a look with where our machines are that have Acrobat 8. So I can browse through the software tree and say Acrobat 8, and all these machines have Acrobat 8. If I were to add a machine to this, it would get it. If I were to take one out and re-image it, well, the SIDs change, so you have to make sure you're aware of that too. So when you re-image your machine, SSID of the box changes. This is all SSID based. So if you actually name the machine the same thing, you're going to get this duplicate entry in here, and it's not going to install to the first one.
What if it?
More questions? Yes.
Yeah. What if it was a non-silent install like the mail store? So you put them in the collection, and then they don't actually finish the install. So then they would be in the group,
Yep.
but they wouldn't have the software.
Yep.
Okay.
So we can do that as well too. There's a status thing at the bottom here to show you.
Okay.
Where you see where the advertisement got denied, where people didn't do the install.
Software distribution, I think. Advertisements. My group.
No, that's the package.
No.
That's the
I
advertisement.
thought I had to right click on it.
It's down food.
No. Trish drives this a lot faster.
It's under system,
Software metering?
no.
Reporting?
System status.
See, there's just, again, this is the elephant in the room that you can do a whole lot of stuff with this.
Yeah,
Advertising
see, there it
status.
is. That's where it is. Then what you can do is you can double click on it, and then over to the right, there's a button, double click on it again. Over to the right, you can say show messages and say all. And then it shows you all the distribution. It takes a second. And then you can see where it was successful or not successful. Because then they'll say, well, I didn't get it. Well, you can go look at the status of why they didn't. For the most part, it will tell you that it started, the advertisement worked.
Okay. And this would be the same thing if the machine was off. It
Yeah.
would say,
It'll wait.
Well, it'll tell you that
unavailable
this
or
is a
whatever.
normal thing, and it just may need to wait because the machine's off, but
Right.
it'll push it out to it.
It's okay.
Chris, are you applying YouTube?
Right.
Not on purpose, dude.
When this happens, Mike, I don't care. I just take them out of the group, put them back in, and it pushes it right away.
Okay.
Or right away as it can, 15 minutes, 5 hours,
I don't,
when it wants to. So, yeah, it did install, okay, fine. Well, I'll redo it, I can push it again.
Jared, is pulling them out of the group initiate an uninstall?
No. You can do that. You can actually put the uninstallers with the installers, and you can say uninstall software. I don't know if I have one of
They don't
those.
want to do that.
we didn't set any of those up, but they're.
But you
would have
can't,
to-
just like if you're doing programs and manager, whatever, and you say change or update, that'll do the same thing. It's doing the install shield backwards.
Now, the
Yes.
Adobe Pro stuff, we, actually, if you upgrade to the new version, when I built the MSI with, using, Orca, I tell it to remove the old, so it does do it when it does the install, so it goes up. So, yeah. With Acrobat, I've done that. But you could do an uninstaller, like Jared said, we just haven't done that.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
What are you doing about things that take personalized setup, like running a network setup tool?
No, I don't use
We
network
don't use
setup
it,
tool.
we don't use the
Sorry,
network setup tool.
that thing's broke. Don't use it.
We don't use it. Because none of our users have administrative privileges, and so if they use the administrator password to install it, it's still going to put it in the administrator profile.
All right, so let me rephrase. How are you getting certificates on their machines?
By hand.
By hand, okay.
They go to the website, it downloads it, does the certificate.
You know what?
report.
There is a new network tool that actually addresses the admin problem, but
Yeah,
it's
Ken gave
not
it to
on
me,
the
he never
website
fixed
yet.
it, so yeah.
I don't trust
I
it.
haven't seen it.
I don't. What I do is I make a favorite off of my re-image machines that says get personal certificate here, and I can call them and say, you see that link there in your link bar? It takes me right to the thing, and it asks me to fill out the form. It drops the personal certificate right in there. I would do the same, instead of trying to say, network setup tool, next. Oh, it didn't work. All right, try again. No, just do
It
this.
works, but it
No,
hasn't
this
done
always
the
works.
5 certificates in the administrator's
Right.
profile.
What are the properties of that?
It's just going to the
Standard PKI.
PKI. That's all
This
it's
is the
doing.
website it's been since day one.
It's
Yeah,
just a
that link
manual.
right there. PKA CS12 /. And that will get you your personal certificate every time, 100% of the time until
They
PKI
decide to
changes
move
the
it, but
URL.
it's
Right.
Now, the only thing is, it doesn't, if you run multiple browsers, you still got to install that certificate in
That's
other browsers.
You can save this one. It'll save it.
Right.
It'll give you the option to pop up. You want to save this, open it, run it. Yeah.
And that's what I recommend my people do. I hate the tool.
Yes.
Well, I'll speak in defense. I love the network setup tool, and I was testing for Ken as well, and the one for Windows that doesn't need administrative privileges worked great in my test on a couple hundred machines.
That one works, it just hasn't been released.
You're correct. It's not out yet.